This video we are going to see about the Hindu news analysis dated August 4 and 5 2023. The first article talks about the curbing imposes on import of laptop and tablets, exemption for travelers in specific cases, impact on pricing and responses, what are all the import restriction on goods and service and its impact, new import restriction we are going to see in this article. The move is expected to have a significant impact on laptop availability, especially for brands that rely on assembly abroad such as Dell, HP, Lenovo, Apple. Okay, next article is all about why is the biological diversity bill facing opposition. We will see the context and Convention on Biological Diversity, Biological Diversity Act 2002. To what extent has the act been implemented in the Biological Diversity Bill? Why is the bill considered problematic? How does the industry view the act? All we will see in the upcoming slide. And next one is the Amid Rope Data Protection Bill tabled. In this we will see about the provisions of the bill and what is the range of exemption, criticism related to the bill, all we will see. And in prelims, endangered Himalayan vulture breed in captivity for the first time in India. We will see the IUCN status of Himalayan vulture. And next one is over 9 lakh trees likely to be axed for Great Nicobar project. Let us see the ambitious project with tree felling. Next one is the 3 bills passed in Rajya Sabha in opposition's absence. Let us see what are all the 3 bills. Without wasting much time, we will move on into the first slide, that is first article. That before that, let us slightly go through the August 5th articles also. Detailed analysis of lesson from Hiroshima and nuclear deterrence, America's pursuit of Saudi-Israel reapproachment, inter-service organization bill, and for prelims Kalbelia tribe and their dance, a national folk and tribal art festival, Kurvai crops means what, and Manas Tiger Reserve, Kattupalli port, minimum age to contest polls, digital health incentive scheme, Navoshek port, Pakistan passes bill to meet FATF standards, COP in Niger. First article that we are moving into is related to government imposes curbs on import of laptop and tablets. Now let us see the context of this article. The Union government on Thursday restricted all the import of laptops and tablets, all-in-one and small factor personal computers PCs, requiring license from these products to be brought into the country and sold to the consumers. What is the new rules talking about? The new rules is expecting to particularly impact the short-term laptop availability from laptop brands that rely on assembly abroad such as Dell, HP, Lenovo and Apple. The notification may entail longer wait time for individual products to be cleared for import and sale in India. The said restriction shall not applicable to import under baggage rules. The Directorate General of Foreign Trade said in its notification announcing the curb, indicating that travelers may be free to bring one of these products back with them from overseas without attracting penalties. The laptop can still be purchased online from overseas, and the government clarified. However, when these are imported by individual buyers, the import duty, shipping fees may make this as an expensive prospect, as tax may also have been paid in the country from where laptop is purchased. The electronic goods such as laptops are generally sold at lower rates than maximum retail price MRP, which allows the manufacturer to hike the price on short notice when needed. Exemption for travelers and specific cases. The restriction on import will not apply to the products bought from baggage rules. Right. So, the online purchasing of laptops from foreign websites are still allowed, but individual buyers may incur import duties and shipping fees, make it more expensive. That is the problem. These are all the impact on the pricing and responses. Electronic goods like laptops are generally sold below the MRP and allowing the manufacturer to adjust price quickly as needed. Let us see the what is about biological diversity bill facing opposition. Let us see what is it. On August 1, Rajya Sabha passed the biological diversity bill 2021 amid a walkout by the opposition about a week after it was cleared by Lok Sabha. It's related to the GS paper 3rd. And the core concept is, in 1994, the countries including India has agreed to Convention on Biological Diversity (CBD), an international framework agreement similar to more famous one on climate change. There is a general agreement on three things: that indiscriminate use of biological resources need to be halted, that sustainable use of these resources for their medicinal properties, for example, needed to be regulated, that people and communities helping in protecting and maintaining these resources need to be rewarded for their efforts. Why the need for amendment means, for over the years what happened means, several stakeholders like those representing Indian system of medicine, the seed sector, pharmaceutical and other industries, and the research communities have pointed out that some of the provisions of 2002 law restricted their activities and thus need to be modified. In addition, the countries agreed to Nagoya Protocol in 2010, an import international agreement under CBD that contained an access and benefit sharing mechanism. Under this mechanism, what happened means, the biodiversity rich countries needed to provide access to their biological resources to those wanting to use it for research and commercial reasons. And the user agency in turn were mandated to share the benefit of their use with local communities, and this access and benefit sharing works at both domestic and international level. Why is so contested? The bill accepts the codified traditional knowledge and Ayush industry from benefit sharing, denying local communities benefits from accessing the biological resources. The term codified traditional knowledge lacks a clear definition, leading to potential exploitation. The thing you have to note down here is that Convention on Biological Diversity. What is a CBD? The CBD is an international treaty adopted in the year of 1992 during the during Earth Summit in Rio de Janeiro. Okay, its primary goal is the conservation of biological diversity, sustainable use of its components, fair and equitable sharing of benefits arising from genetic resources. You have to note down what is Biological Diversity Act 2002 also. The Biological Diversity Act 2002 was enacted to give effect to the provisions of the Convention on Biological Diversity (CBD) in India. The Act aimed to regulate access to biological resources and protect the protect the traditional knowledge and ensure fair benefit sharing with local communities. To what extent has the Act been implemented means, despite being in force for several years, Biological Diversity Act has faced challenges in full implementation. A 2002 investigation revealed that in many states there are no transparent data available on accessing and benefit sharing transactions. Concerns are raised regarding the non-sharing of benefits to local community, leading to lack of confidence in the Act's implementation. Legal researchers identified difficulties in implementing provisions related to access and benefit sharing, leading to cases in High Court and National Green Tribunal. Let us see what is this Biological Diversity Amendment Bill. This Biological Diversity Amendment Bill 2021 seeks to amend the existing Act to introduce a certain relaxation and exemptions. It is intended to promote the ease of doing business and support the Ayush industry. Why is the bill considered problematic means, the proposed amendment exempt the codified traditional knowledge and Ayush industry from benefit sharing and denying the local community fair compensation for their resources. Ambiguity in the definition of codified traditional knowledge may lead to exploitation and misuse of traditional knowledge. The critics argue that these exemptions are regressive and go against the original intent of ensuring the fair and equitable benefit sharing. How does the industry view the Act means? The industry, particularly Ayush sector, has expressed discontent with the existing regulation. Several companies have also facing challenges means allegedly using the biological resources without complying with the Act of the provisions. And representatives from various sectors including Indian system of medicine seed industry have urged the government to simplify and streamline the compliances burden to encourage the research and investment. Nut graph of this Biological Diversity Amendment Bill 2021 has faced opposition due to the concerns over the potential exploitation, lack of fair benefit sharing, and prioritization of ease of doing business over environmental protection. The Act implementation challenges have further added to the skepticism surrounding the proposed amendments. As the debate continues, the balancing economic interest and environmental conservation remains a crucial aspect of the policymakers and stakeholders alike. Let us move on into the next article. Before that, we will see some of the points given in this. The expert regard this exemption as regressive because the reason why the legislation was enacted in the first place was to ensure a fair and equitable sharing of benefits. It decriminalized the offences and proposed monetary penalties instead of raising concerns over resource exploitation. Certain categories of users of biological resources, like practitioners of Indian system of medicines, have been exempted from making payment towards access and benefit sharing mechanism. The company registered in India and controlled by Indians are now treated as Indian companies even if they have foreign equity or partnership, thereby reducing the restrictions on them, and provisions having been included to speed up the approval process in case of use of biological resources in the scientific research or filling up of patent applications. Let us move on into the next article, that is the data protection bill tabled. What is this? Context is means personal data protection bill 2023 was introduced in Lok Sabha nearly 6 years after the Supreme Court held privacy a fundamental right under the constitution. At least 3 separate iterations of legislation have been floated in the past, with the most recent version of being withdrawn in the parliament a year ago. Let us see the provisions one by one. The bill requires the companies to better protect the digital data taken from the individual. The former term data fiduciary and the later data principals, by clearly mentioning to them what data are being collected and what they are being used for, and appointing and giving contact information of a data protection officer and giving officers the right to delete or modify their personal data. It proposes fines ranging from 50 crore to 250 crore for companies that fail to protect a user's data or default on disclosure requirements. The government sources said these fines can be compounded, and that is separate fines can be imposed on the same data fiduciary for each violation. The additional requirements are to be notified later by the union government on what firms will be classified as significant data fiduciary, who will be subject to more stringent requirements such as passing through the data audit and conducting data protection impact assessment. The provisions also says that these includes that the day will come into force the registration of so-called concern manager who can represent the interest of data principals. In the earlier video we have already said what is data principals and data fiduciary. If anyone not seen that video, please go back to the August month current affairs video and you will get to know what is data principal and data fiduciary is. The requirement for company to report the data breaches to authorities, and timeline for erasing the user data platform, where the children above a certain age can sign up without express the parental consent, and modalities of audit for significant data fiduciary. The bill strikes off the section 43A of the IT Act 2000 that requires the companies which mishandle the user data to compensate the users. The government source said this was because of the compensation is a judicial process, while ex gratia payment were at the discretion of the government, that legally compensation would have to be awarded through the civil tort law. Next one is exemptions. The bill provides a wide range of exemptions for the state and its instrumentalities. For instance, the personal data can be processed in the interest of sovereignty and integrity of India or security of the state for fulfilling any obligations under the law. While the data requires the firm to disclose to the users the identity of the other firm to which their data will be entrusted for processing. They are explicitly exempted from disclosing sharing of such data in case of lawful interception of the data. Everybody has the same obligation under the bill. Even the government sources told the Hindu in response to these concerns, adding that these exemptions were only in place for cases such as medical emergencies and disasters. We will see the range of exemptions. The exemption for the state and its instrumentalities, non-disclosure in case of lawful interception, we had seen. And what is the criticism related to the bill means? The parliamentary standing committee's concerns. The bill faced the criticism from opposition members of the parliamentary standing committee. Parliamentary standing committee's opposition members, Committee on Communication and IT, has accused the government of the obfuscation and lack of examination of the new version of the committee. Demand for examination. Opposition members demanded that the new version of the bill should be sent for examination by standing committee, as it impinges the fundamental rights related to privacy. And in that graph, let us see what's all about. Digital Personal Data Protection Bill 2023 introduced in Lok Sabha aims to enhance the digital data protection by defining the roles of data fiduciary, the company collecting data, and data principal, that is the individual. It requires a transparent data collection, appointing a data protection officer, and grants the users the right to delete or modify the personal data. The bill proposes a fine for non-compliance and allows for exemption for the state and its instrumentalities. Next article that we are moving into is related to prelims. First one is related to Himalayan endangered Himalayan vulture. Endangered Himalayan vulture breed in captivity for first time in India. Researchers have recorded the first instance of captive breeding of Himalayan vulture, that is Gyps himalayensis, in India at the Assam State Zoo, Guwahati. The categorized as near threatened, IUCN status for this vulture is in the status of vulnerable. Sorry, excuse me. It's near threatened. It's near threatened. The Himalayan vulture is a common winter migrant to the Indian plains and resident of high Himalayas. Okay. Next article that we are seeing into. Moving into is related to over 9 lakh trees likely to be axed for Great Nicobar project. You have to see what is this Great Nicobar project is all about, as it is felling 9 lakh, okay, 9 lakh trees. In the Nadgraf, Minister of State Environment revealed that Great Nicobar project may cut down 9.64 lakh trees, surpassing the initial estimate of 8.5 lakh for development. Limited public disclosure is due to its strategic importance. Despite environmental clearance, the area is known for its diverse flora and fauna, and compensatory afforestation in Haryana is planned. The centers, let us moving into this context of this thing, that is centers ambitious 72,000 crore Great Nicobar project may see 9.64 lakh and not 8.5 lakh tree felled to enable the construction of transshipment port and international airport a township and 450 MVA gas and solar based power plant on Great Nicobar Island. Great Nicobar project is likely to come up over 130 square kilometer of pristine forest has been accorded environmental clearance by an expert committee. However, this has challenged in National Green Tribunal, following which it set up an expert committee in April to investigate the aspect of the clearance. Let us see some of the ecological impacts due to this is the Great Nicobar Island is known for its evergreen tropical forest with rich biological diversity. The island is home to almost 650 species of floras and 330 species of faunas. The proposed tree felling for development in the project area would impact this unique ecosystem. The project strategic importance, let us see. And then normally details of the project undergoing environmental clearance are made available on public portal maintained by Environment Ministry. Surprisingly, the details of Great Nicobar project have not disclosed, following instruction from the Union Home Ministry, which classifies the project as strategically important. The environmental clearance and challenge. The Great Nicobar project spanning over 130 square kilometer of pristine forest received from environmental clearance from an expert committee. However, the clearance decision was challenged by National Green Tribunal. The National Green Tribunal subsequently formed an expert committee in April 2023 to investigate the aspect of the clearances. Let us move on into the next article, that is 3 bills passed in Rajya Sabha in oppositions of absence. The Rajya Sabha passed the bills such as Offshore Areas Mineral Amendment Bill, Press and Registration of Periodicals Bill, Advocates Amendment Bill on Thursday. Offshore Area Minerals Amendment Bill and Coal and Mines Minister Prahalshad Joshi said the auction on mining of coals, minerals and metals were marred with corruption and scandals under the previous UPA regime. Moving the Press and Registration of Periodicals Bill, Union Minister of Information and Broadcasting Anurag Thakur said the bill is to replace 1867th law brought by the colonial rulers of centralizing powers, and 3 bills passed in Rajya Sabha in opposition absence. The proposed legislation is based on the spirit of upholding media freedom and ease of doing business by making the entire process of allotment of the title and registration of the periodical simple and simultaneous through an online system without the requirement of any physical interface, which would be fast tracked by the Press Registrar General, thereby ensuring that publishers, especially small and medium publishers, face little difficulty in starting the periodicals. Arjun Ram Meghwal moved the amendment to the advocate bills. He said the bill is a continuation of Centre's policy of repealing all obsolete and pre-independence law which have lost their utility. Let us see some of the mains practice questions. Before that, we will see some more key facts that is relevant for prelims, that is about the bills. Excuse me, it's not about the bills, it's about vultures. Aceclofenac is an painkiller used in cattle that is very much harmful for vulture population, which is declining the vulture population. Before diclofenac was banned in 1991 in the cattle industry, it is said to be illegal, which cause kidney failure in vultures. Next thing is now it is aceclofenac, aceclofenac gets converted into diclofenac within hours of administration to cattle. Fatal 4 things are diclofenac, aceclofenac, nimesulide, ketoprofen. You have to know the species of there are 9 species of vultures in India. Schedule 1 of Wildlife Protection Act 1972 contains bearded, long-billed, slender-billed, oriental white-backed vultures. The rest is under Schedule 4. Helps in reducing wildlife diseases. That's all about this news discussion. Finally, the mains practice questions. How do the new amendments to Biological Diversity Bill undercuts the biodiversity regime in India? Try it for 150 words. Discuss the provisions of Digital Personal Data Protection Bill 2023 and try it also for 150 words. That's all for today. We will see the rest of the August 5th articles in the next video. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day.